Alright, here we go, another Warhammer Tuesday video where we're painting the Relic Envoy Relic? Whatever it is. Pretty easy paint job, nothing too crazy. But first off, as always, I want to thank all my YouTube members for your awesome donations. You guys are awesome. I can't thank you guys enough. That's why I put your names up here all the time. Your name could be up here as well if you want to become a member of the channel, as we post at least 2 videos every single week. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit that bell button so you're alerted every single time we post a video. Hit a thumbs up and leave me a comment. But without further ado, let's go. Alright, we're going to be using a mix of contrast paints and regular base paints. Now the contrast paints really help speed up the process of, painting. Obviously that's why they're speed paints. We're going to be painting the whole wooden area with some Wyldwood, and you notice that obviously I built the miniature, primed it with mostly white. It's a zenithal highlight with some darks in there. You can do it all white to speed it up, and it actually looks probably a little bit better, if not the same. Now for a couple areas, I'm doing the sheath right now with some Gore-Grunta Fur in the back little pouch he's got on. Now we're going to go over this sheath later with a red, so you don't really need to do this. You can though. Just kind of adds a little bit of an undertone. For the skull on top of our little Envoy staff, we're going to put some skeleton Horde. For the doors on our relic with our zombie head in there, we're going to use some black Templar front and back. We're also going to use this on the back S and then the S for Sigmar on the shoulder pad of our Envoy. For our skeleton, I guess not skeleton, it's the zombie face in the relic, we're going to use a little bit of green camo. And for all of our robes, we're going to use some Nazdreg Yellow. Pretty simple on this, and you're going to see the white come through, and that's exactly what you want. We're going to highlight some edging a little bit later, just to brighten up just a little bit, but nothing too crazy right there. For our Envoy hands, we're going to use a little bit of Black Legion on this. And like I was mentioning earlier, the sheath is going to be a little Baal Red. For the little parrot thing or whatever it is on the shoulder of our Envoy, we're going to be doing some Ork Flesh. And that's all we're going to be doing on that. I let the white stick through on this. I'm not doing anything else. For the back little belt area, we're going to use some Cygor Brown. I got the cross belts on the back, and then the belt that goes around our Envoy's waist. For all of our metal bits, we're going to use some Iron Warriors, so it's the shoulder pads and the front. Now I did the back as well, but if you really look at it, it's probably a shirt, and it's just got a front breastplate. But, you know, I did it anyway, and I didn't want to fix it, so it is what it is. It doesn't look bad, it's just kind of weird. For the bottom of our sheath and portion of the top part of our sword, and then the handle of our sword, we're going to be using a little bit of Warplock Bronze, and followed by that the top of our sword right next to the hand, and the kind of diamond or metal piece in the middle of the handguard. We're going to be using some Retributor Armour, as you're going to be seeing right now. No surprise here with the Fleshtone. We're going with some Cadian Fleshtone. Now you can use a speed paint on this, but I really think that making the skin look natural, the normal way, is the best way to do it. It takes a little bit extra time, but I think it's worth it. For the hair of our Envoy, we're going to use some Zamesi Desert. And we're going to clean up the inside of our relic with some Baal Red that I totally forgot about. And then if you notice on the art of the book that's provided, or just looking at the picture on the box, there's a little white and black checkered area on the sheath of our sword. Now you're going to cover it in white, and then you're going to just make a little checkers box. If you're not comfortable doing this, because it is kind of a pain and it does take a very steady brush stroke, don't do it. It's not that big of a deal. People aren't going to notice, but it's up to you if you want to do it. I did it, and it turned out super mid, so it's up to you. Moving on to our washes step. All right, we're getting halfway here. Nice, very nice. We're going to put this onto our skin areas, of course, obviously, and then we're going to put this onto the gold areas. For our robes, we're going to use a little bit of Seraphim Sepia. This is optional, really, because I think the Nazdreg Yellow really stands out on its own. If you wanted to darken up with a little bit of orange, you can do it with this color, obviously. For the hair, we're going to use a little bit of Agrax Earthshade. If you wanted to put this on the staff for the relic, you can as well to darken it up. It's up to you, though. And for our little metal areas, we're going to use some Nulin Oil again. No shocker there. And if you notice on the boots as well, I did some leg guards to add them in there. The art kind of shows that the boots are black all the way up, but man, when I'm looking at it, I just feel like there's leg guards right there. I know they painted it a certain way. It is what it is. You can do whatever you want. It's your miniature. You can change however much you want on it. Well, first things first, make sure everything's dry, and we are going to highlight our skin first. And obviously we're going to do a little reapplication of Cadian Fleshtone. Now, as always, if you've watched my videos, or if this is your first time here, we're going to focus on main focus points on our miniature. So the bridge of the nose, the forehead, the cheekbones, the upper lip, the bottom lip, the chin, the ears, and we're just going to kind of focus on those areas. Make sure your paint is thinned. It should have a little dollop of paint and then mixed with enough water so it looks like the consistency of skim milk. You don't want to overdo this. You don't want to put too much paint on there. Very thin layers, and that can build up the highlights. So if you wanted to do extra layers, you can. So once you're done with the first layer, go ahead and do a 50-50 mix of Cadian and Kislev and build up those same areas you just hit. Once you're satisfied with your 50-50 mix, we're just going to do some pure Kislev. Obviously, it's going to be thinned. I'm using a wet palette, as should almost everybody. And we're going to do those same areas. You really want to tap on those bridge of the nose, the forehead, cheekbones, and the chin area. Once you're satisfied with your skin, we're going to move on to the zombie skin inside the relic, and we're going to use some Deathguard Green on there. Again, we're only focusing on the raised areas, the forehead, the nose, the lips, stuff like that, the chin. Once you're satisfied with your Deathguard Green on your zombie, we're going to highlight it up just a little bit with some Nurgling Green. I really focused on the lips and the nose area, the cheekbones, and the eyelids, because it's a dead zombie, so he's got no eyes. Now we're going to highlight up the hair real quick, and we're just hitting those raised areas. We're not getting into any recesses. Obviously, we want to just get those top parts of the hair, nothing too crazy. You probably noticed that I didn't put any eyes on the Envoy. When I did the face, I noticed the shadowing of the eyes made it look like more natural to me. I really liked the look of that, so I didn't put any eyes. For our highlight step on our robes, we're going to use some Tau Light Ochre. Now with this, we're really just doing some edge highlighting. We're getting a little bit into the raised areas of our robes and on the arms. We're also getting this on the collar points of our miniature. Again, we're only doing the edges. We're only doing a little bit of raised areas. And make sure this paint is thinned properly. Don't overdo it. It's a bright color, but you're just trying to make it look just a little bit more, parade ready, as they say in the Warhammer world. For gold, we're just going to do a quick reapplication of some Retributor Armour. Once you're satisfied with that, we're going to work on some of the black areas. Now, this is going to be the gloves, the black doors to the relic, the boots, the backside of the boots, that kind of stuff. We're going to do a Dawnstone. Don't overdo it. Don't go crazy. Work on the knuckles, the little fingertips, stuff like that. And then we're going to do a little bit of Administratum Grey. Now, this is a much brighter gray, so don't go crazy on this. Make sure it is thinned and you are properly applying it, seeing if you want to do another layer or you're just happy with a little bit of highlight here and there. For the bottom portion of our sheath and the little medallion that's coming down from the handguards on the sword, we're going to use some Camoptek Alloy. Yep, I got that. Once you're satisfied with that, take some Leadbelcher, and we're just going to highlight up our armor. You can do almost every single thing. Leave some recesses dark colored. The raised areas on the chest obviously do. And just, brighten it up just a little bit. And we are winding down. I'm painting my base with Gorthor Brown. You can do whatever you want. And obviously I already put the base on there before I primed it. I do that with all my miniatures to save myself some steps down the road. Gorthor Brown mixed once it's dry. Put some Agrax Earthshade on there. The white's going to stick through, and that's what you want. And it's going to be a little bit of bright. I did not put any highlight on the bottom. I like the color as is, so I'm going to paint the rim of the base, and then I'm going to put some grass on there. So you're going to put some PVA glue, whatever, Elmer's, whatever you got, or the cheap stuff. That's what I use because Elmer's is a little bit more expensive, and it's the same stuff as everything else. Put some glue down there, put some grass, any pattern, doesn't matter, and then let it dry. And this is what it looks like. Not too shabby. I know this video is 17 minutes long, but it doesn't feel like it should have been. I got a new camera, so I'm taking more shots to give you guys more shots of me painting rather than just quick little 5 to 10 second clips. So if you enjoy it, let me know in the comments. If you think I need to change something, if you got any suggestions, I'm always up for suggestions. Please let me know in the comments. But thank you for watching. I'll see you on Friday it's going to be probably a hero quest. I know some people are going to like that. All right, catch you on the next one. Paint on.